Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat, coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Makah Kodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles, teachers from GMS, Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon all your households. Khan Shalom. So today I just want to make a quick video concerning the Arab slave trade, what was going on. Because a lot of people don't know that the people from Arabia were actually also selling our people, the so-called blacks, the Israelites actually, that is what we are, into slavery also, man. And they was trading us from left to right, They was castrating our people, They was doing all types of horror with us. And they was even doing this way longer than the so-called white men. Okay, the Arabs were doing this for like over, I believe, 1400 years, man, or something. So yesterday at camp, we was having a discussion because there was some Muslims and a certain person, who also believes in the truth, if I'm correct. He came to ask us, like, what do you think about these Muslim statements? Okay, because across of the side where we was teaching camp, there was like a certain Muslim tent going on, and it had a state written on it, and it said, Jesus is a Muslim, and then they had like 2 verses of the Quran with it or something. So we was debunking that with mad scriptures, For example, Leviticus 21:6 showing that we are not supposed to be bowing down to a stone, which they do, the Kaaba stone, and to worship towards that stone. So that is one verse to show that we can never be Muslims, Galatians 1:8 or 6, 7, or 8, if I'm correct, that no other doctrine coming from, another doctrine coming from an angel, is false, and let that person be accursed, roughly paraphrasing it. Let me just grab it. So he was going into different scriptures concerning these Muslims and their belief. It says here, Galatians chapter 1, verse 8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. So an angel preaching another gospel, that is what happened with Muhammad, they say, right? That Muhammad, from the Quran, he received the doctrine from a so-called angel. Well, we know it's false, okay, because it's another doctrine than the doctrine from Yahweh Bashem Yashai. So it's false. And Leviticus 26:1. Ye shall make you no idols, no graven image, neither rear ye up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, like the Kaaba, to bow down unto it. Don't these Muslims go bow down their head to Kaaba, For I am the Lord your power. Like if you don't know the Kaaba stone. Oh, I was watching Naruto. Let me see. Kaaba stone. And one of the brothers said it looked like a vagina. Yeah, this stone. They be bowing down with hundreds, thousands of people toward it, man. We're not supposed to be doing that shit. Okay, so there was many more scriptures, but the thing is, today a brother sent this video to me concerning the Arab slave trade. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the video for y'all. And then, no, you know what? I'm gonna first read the article. Not the article, but the Wikipedia. And then I'm gonna end it with the video on the Instagram that a brother sent. Okay, so let me see. Let me go to new tablet. Trans-Saharan slave trade, because you have the transatlantic slave trade, going over the Atlantic Ocean from Africa to America, and you have the trans-Saharan slave trade, which goes to the Arabs. Okay, 1 second, because I looked it up. on another device. So let me look here real quick what this is about. Yeah, bio BMC. Let me type in BMC. BMC. Yeah, here. Reject all cookies. It says here the trans-Saharan slave trade. Clues from interpolation analysis and high-resolution characterization of mitochondrial DNA lineages. Anyway, let's go back to, let me see, which part was it? Yeah, here, at 15. Yeah, here, 15. Wait 1 second. Oh, you have here methods, or is this another one? Okay, methods, going up a bit of this picture. Yeah, here it is. So it says here, nonetheless, some authors affirm that the Arab slave trade of black slaves, Israelites, okay, was much the same in total to the Atlantic slave trade with the so-called white people, East or Edom, and interestingly far longer in the time scale. Like I said, okay, it began in the middle of the 7th century, so 650 AD, when these Arab people started to trade us in slavery, and survives still today in Mauritania and Sudan, summing up 40 centuries, which is 1400 years. 1 century is 100 years, so 1400 years, rather than 4 as for the Atlantic slave trade, because the Atlantic slave trade was from around 1600, I believe, to 1800 something, you know. Let me look it up real quick, how long it was. And also, transatlantic slave trade, I believe it was not that, it was like, so here they say 1526 to 1867, but it's around 1916, because, oh, and was it 1919, 1920? Let me see, transatlantic slave trade. Because they also put the Native Americans, you know, which are the tribe of Gad, they also put them in captivity, you know, with Columbus. Okay, now they want to do funny, man. When did slavery start? It was 1919, if I'm correct, or 1916. When did the transatlantic slave trade start? Or they say 1526. The transatlantic slave voyages, the first voyage carrying enslaved people direct from Africa to the Americas, probably sailed in 1526. The number of people carried off from Africa reached 30,000 per year in the 1690s and 85,000 per year a century later. Here it says what happened in 1619, like I said, the arrival of the first captives to the Jamestown colony, in 1619, is often seen as the beginning of slavery in America. So 1619 is seen as the slavery in America, but what this says is that they already started before that, you know. So you do the math, and around 1400s, you know, that is where Columbus went to America and put the Native Americans in slavery, man. So it says here, what route did Columbus take in 1492? So 1492 was basically Columbus going to America and so-called discovering America and bringing horror upon the Native Americans, okay? It says here, what happened in 1492 other than Columbus? The events which propelled the year into Western consciousness listed below include the completion of the Reconquista of Spain, Europe, Spain, discovery of the New World, and the expulsion of Jews from Spain, Israelites, you see, who lived in America before 1492. Native Americans lived in the USA before Columbus. Okay, so We already know that. All right. So they did not discover shit, man. They came there, destroyed the Native Americans. Okay. So it says here. Nonetheless, some authors affirm that the Arab slave trade of black slaves was much the same in total to the Atlantic slave trade, and interestingly, far longer in the timescale. It began in the middle of the 7th century, 650 AD, and survives still today in Mauritania and Sudan, summing up 40 centuries rather than 4 as for the Atlantic slave trade. Although estimates are very rough, figures are of 4,820,000 for the Saharan trade between 650 and 1600 AD. So that's a rough estimation. Of course, there was more than that, man. And for comparison purposes, of 2,400,000 for the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean trade between 800 and 1600 AD. Now, this was just some background information. So we know that roughly from around 1492, that is where the Israelites started to be captivated by Esau, by Columbus, okay? Because the Native Americans are also Israelites. And then, transatlantic slave trade abolished. And when it was abolished, they say, yeah, that's not correct, man. That's not correct. 1807. It's way longer than that. Look, they say it was abolished 1st January in the United States, 1st January 1801. Now let's look at this. When did Holland abolish slavery? Look at this, 1863, and then it says this comes 150 years after the actual abolition of slavery in the then Dutch colonies in 1873. So in this year, the 10-year period of state supervision instituted after the formal abolition of slavery in 1863 ended. So the Dutch went even further with it, 1863, slavery abolished. You see, so they're playing with the numbers, man. They're really playing with the numbers, okay? They're really playing with the numbers, man. All right? So one more time. Slavery abolished in America. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, as the nation approached its 3rd year of bloody civil war. The proclamation declared that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states are and henceforward shall be free. Was slavery abolished in 1863? President Lincoln, okay, like we just read, against United States, yeah, all slaves free. So they're playing with the things, man. In Holland it was 1873 because they went longer with it. Here it says the transatlantic slave trade was abolished in the United States from 1st January 1808. However, some slaving continued on an illegal basis for the next 50 years. I see. One popular subterfuge was to use whaling ships. The campaign to end slavery itself in the United States was long and bitter. Of course, these devils, man. The campaign to end it took until 1863. You see? Bitch ass niggas. So they're playing with these dates also, man. But it don't matter, man. Sooner or later, we're gonna get them, in the kingdom. The Most High is gonna give us the power to hurt our enemies, Because everybody of these nations had us in captivity, okay? It says here, what nation had not taken of our spoil? First Maccabees 2 and 10. What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? Meaning, like, which nation did not touch the Israelites? Every nation did, man. Okay? Like Elam, Sod. It says here, Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. So the Most High didn't want to destroy us with his slavery, but because you moved Yahweh to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. Because we was going against the Most High and against the scriptures. Okay, we was not listening to him. So he allowed the nations to come and take us over, and they gladly did this sorry, with us. Okay, they gladly did this with us. All right, like it says, they help further the affliction. Further the affliction. Let me see here. Affliction. I'm typing it wrong or something. Very sore displeased. This is in Jeremiah. So let me see. Jeremiah. Or is it another book? Sore displeased. Yeah, oh, Zechariah, sorry. Zechariah 1 verse 15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So the Most High was a little displeased with us, but the heathens, they took, how they said it, they went overboard with their power that they had over us and the slavery, you know. They was like, hey, let's make abuse of this situation, man. They are not with their God anymore, you know. The Most High is not protecting them. Let's destroy them, you know. Like it says also here, Psalms 82, if I'm correct. Let's cut them off from being a nation. Oh, it was not Psalms 82. Heathen is consented. Let cut them from being a nation. Psalms 83, sorry, verse 4. Let me start at verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They becoming bold, okay, proud. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. So these heathens, they was really discussing like, how are we gonna get these Israelites? And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So these heathens were working together to let us forget who we actually are and who are the actual Israelites. They sold us into slavery, all these things, man. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites. Okay, Edom, which is the so-called white man. Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs, which is this video about. Of Moab, which are the so-called Chinese people. And the Hagarenes. Gebal and Ammon. Ammon are the so-called Japanese people. And Amalek. Okay, the so-called people that live in the land of Israel today, which they are Amalek. They might look like so-called Turkish people, Arabs, but they are Amalek. They are actually Esau. Okay, Amalek is the chief tribe of Esau. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, so the Hamites, the actual Africans. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope on the children of Lot, Selah. So they all had a hand in putting us into slavery, things like that. But like maybe some of y'all did not know, these Arabs out here, they are horrible with it also, man. Had our people for 1400 years in captivity. Okay, 1400 years, you know how long it is, man. So our people out there, the Israelites, you know, that become Muslim and whatnot,